Hello!
Hi! I almost forgot how to start this thing, which is a thing that I already had trouble with.
Yeah.
We're gonna do our wrap-up today for May and June.
We are!
Because we've been MIA.
We have been, and we didn't really give an explanation, we just...
It was impromptu.
It was.
We had every intention of continuing on and filming. We even made an original tag for the 4th of July.
We did. We did.
And yeah, we're not gonna do that
That
now.
didn't happen.
No.
That did not happen. We just had a lot of stuff going on.
Yes.
Just had a lot of photo shoots. I
started doing weddings.
Yeah, you did. They were good.
That's a big deal. Thank you.
I had a couple vacations. Went to Pennsylvania to see family, and so it was just crazy.
Yeah. It got crazy for a second.
But we're back.
Yeah, we're back.
We literally decided Friday, today's Sunday, like, hey, let's do this again.
Right. And I'm glad.
Yeah.
I literally did not have the headspace to what's the word?
I know what you're trying to say.
Dedicate to reading and this side of my life. I was focused on
There was a lot going on, and especially doing weddings.
Yeah.
It was
a big deal.
She
for
did
me.
2, and it was the first time ever, so I mean that was stressful for sure. Yeah. But you did a really good job.
Coffee spill. Thank you.
We'll link her photography Instagram down below. You should go check it out. So anyway, we're back now, and we're really excited to be back. And we had some wonderful, kind words from everybody while we were gone.
People saying that they missed us, and that made us feel good.
Yeah, it definitely did. So thanks, guys.
Yeah. Hey, I'm Jessica.
I'm Christeena.
And you're watching
Game of Tomes.
Where are my dragons?
So clearly we cut down our intro.
Oh yeah. Yeah, let us know what you think of that.
Yeah.
We really liked our old intro a lot.
A lot.
But it was long.
Yeah.
And so we just thought we'd mix it up, so
that's what we came up with 10 minutes ago.
It was. With the break that we took, as you can imagine, I didn't read very much. So I think this is going to be as short as a normal wrap-up would be. Probably.
I would agree with that. I mean, I read decent.
I'm back on the saddle, though.
Yeah. We both kind of went through a slump.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In regards to reading, but we were busy in other areas.
Yeah, it got crazy.
Yeah.
So,
okay. Let's start.
Well, the first book that I finished in May was The Raven Boys by Maggie Stiefvater, and I gave this 4 stars.
Cool.
It was not what I expected. It was a lot more supernatural than I thought it was gonna be.
Okay.
But I really enjoyed it, and I really like the characters, and I do plan on continuing, and I'm excited to do that.
I'm glad. Because for a second there, you're like, I don't know.
I really wasn't sure about it at the beginning, but the more I got into it and the more things you found out, I was like, oh. And there's kind of like a legend in this that I feel like I don't fully understand.
Okay.
And so that for me was really confusing, but it's kind of like, I can still buy into it because I really enjoyed other aspects of it.
Alright.
Yeah.
I'm glad.
Yeah.
That you enjoyed yourself with that. We both read The Wicked and the Divine by Kieron Gillen. We don't have it because Christeena's sister is borrowing it. I give it 3 stars.
I give it 3.6.
Alright. I thought the art was good.
Yeah.
And I thought the concept was cool. But I think the execution and the story, it just didn't hold up for me at all. And I don't want to continue.
I wouldn't mind continuing, but I don't know if I'm gonna actively seek it out and buy it.
Right. Like, I wouldn't, if someone offered it to me, I would say thank you and read it, because I mean, it's a short graphic novel.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna actively seek it out.
I feel like I read a lot of books in the past couple months that kind of confused me, and this was one of them where there were a couple of dialogue scenes where I had no idea what was going on.
Just
and
dialogue.
I reread them.
Yeah.
And I still had no idea what they were talking about.
Like what they were trying to get to.
Yeah, I had no idea. I know there were 2 specific moments where I was lost, and no matter how many times I tried to reread it, I couldn't get it.
Yeah.
And that was kind of frustrating.
Yeah.
I was hoping for more. I liked the idea of it, and I think the bones were there.
Yeah.
But I feel like I was lost, you know?
Yeah.
Another book that I finished, audiobook, was
We both did.
Girl with All the... Did you finish it?
Yeah.
This one too? Oh, cool.
I did. The Girl with All the Gifts by M.R. Carey. It was narrated by Fenty Williams, who did an excellent job.
Yeah.
I loved her narration.
Yeah. I like the narrator.
Okay, just saying the genre of this book is almost a spoiler because I remember I had no idea what I was getting myself into.
I didn't either.
And then when I found out what it was, like I kind of discovered what it was with the main character.
Yeah.
And that was really cool. But at the same time, I want to tell you, because if you're a fan of the genre, you would want to read it.
I am not really a fan of the genre.
Oh.
And so I ended up giving this 3 stars. I was really, really into the beginning because I was like, what is going on right now? Because I didn't know at all.
That was a cool part.
Yeah, and I really liked the beginning, but once it really kind of got into it, I lost interest. Yeah.
I was like, oh my gosh, this is what it is, and I was so happy.
See, but I'm not fans of those TV shows or movies, so for me, I was like, oh.
Right. I guess we shouldn't say it here because you can figure it out. You can go to Goodreads and read and figure out what it is.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely.
If you want to just take our word for it, that'd be fine too. Warnings for like violence and gore.
Yeah, I would agree. Yeah.
Okay.
And I mean this is also one I've been seeing around BookTube, so people may already be aware of what it's about anyway. But
if you're not,
it's
cool to go into blind.
It is cool to go into blind, even though I'm not a fan of that genre.
Yeah.
I mean 3 stars. I still enjoyed it.
Yeah.
So. Yeah. Okay, so did you finish it?
I didn't finish it.
Okay.
We both started it, and I wanted to finish it, but
we were gonna bunny read the Da Vinci Code by Dan Brown. I've never read any Dan Brown, so that was my first Dan Brown.
What did you think of it?
I gave it 4.4 stars. I actually really enjoyed it, and I didn't think that I would, but I think what kind of knocked it back a little bit for me is that I kind of went too long reading it. Yeah. Because this is a very fast pace, takes place over like 48 hours or something like that.
Right.
And so there was a period where I didn't really read much of it for a few days, and then I felt like it kind of lost my momentum. But I really thought it was interesting, like learning about artifacts, and we would Google the paintings that were mentioned.
We
and
did
the
read out loud to each other for a couple days.
And that was
fun.
You have a good French accent, and I do not.
I know.
I do not at all. But it was a lot of fun, and you know, for my first Dan Brown, like I'm in it.
Yeah.
I want to read some more.
Good.
So yeah, I liked it.
I think you should read Angels and Demons next.
I think I have that one.
I think you do too.
Yeah, somewhere. My sister gave me a bunch of Dan Brown books, so you know, why not?
Yeah, totes. Yeah. Then I borrowed from Christeena The Power by Naomi Alderman, which she gave 5 stars to.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I did. I love that book.
I gave it 3 stars.
And that's okay.
Yeah, of course.
That's okay.
I liked it. And the things I didn't like about it, I feel like are kind of spoilery and more of a discussion.
Yeah.
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 I think it's a good book. It would be a good book for a book club to read.
I think so too.
I think there's a lot of talking points, and it was different and interesting. And I thought it was going to be, I think it missed an opportunity that the direction that I thought it was going, it did not go in. And so I did not like that.
No, it's okay.
Is that too vague? Or is that vague enough?
No, I think it's okay because...
Spoilers.
So I saw Sue from the restricted section read it, and I went and watched her talk about it, and she actually made the point that, like, the thing she didn't like was that the role reverse, the women would treat the men the same way.
Just the same way.
Yeah. And I didn't think about that. And I was like, that's a really good point.
Yeah, that's what I felt. That's the missed opportunity. Because if women had done things differently, I think that would have been what was interesting.
And like more powerful than
or just like it would bring peace to the earth kind of thing. That's what I wanted.
Yeah, that would have been really cool. I didn't think about that when I was reading it, and then I watched Sue talk about it, and I was like, that's
at
a really
first,
good
there
point.
would be revolution.
Yeah, absolutely.
But then once the women were in power,
it would be like
things would happen differently.
Yeah.
It wouldn't just be the same world with
women and
gender swap.
Yeah. I see what you're saying. And I agree with that, though. I do. Should we cut that out?
No.
I mean, we could leave it, because I feel like if anybody who has heard about The Power, or if you read it on Goodreads, you know that it's kind of like a gender swap book.
Right.
So I don't feel like that's spoilery.
Okay.
Well, we weren't directly talking to you guys, but we're going to leave that in there.
Cool.
It'll be alright. Anyway, I still really enjoyed it, but I can see the point that, you know, women treating men the exact same way men treat women, and that being kind of like, you know,
yeah,
like a missed opportunity.
Yeah,
I agree.
That's what I thought.
I agree.
Okay, cool.
I read Speak by Laurie Halse Anderson while I listened to it, and I ended up giving it 4.6 stars.
That's good. Wow.
I really, really enjoyed it.
What's it about?
It follows a girl in high school, and it kind of develops as it goes along, and it's one that you don't really know what's going on, but like you get a pretty good idea. And everybody really hates her in high school because she called the cops at a party over the summer, and so now like she doesn't really have any friends, and then you slowly learn why she called the cops.
Okay.
And it's kind of about like she's an art student, and it's kind
Is
of
it
like,
young adult or adult?
Young adult, for sure. But I mean, it was good. I thought it was, especially considering that it was written in the early 90s, I believe.
Oh.
And it deals with rape. But I really, really enjoyed it.
Cool. Good.
I mostly read it because we were supposed to read the graphic novel version of it. And then we never did.
Yeah.
And so I wanted to, you know, read the book first.
So I read Perfect is Boring, 10 Things My Crazy Fierce Mama Taught Me About Beauty, Booty, and Being a Boss by Tyra Banks. I gave this 4 stars.
Nice.
I really, really enjoyed it. It made me tear up.
Yeah.
Made me laugh out loud.
She narrates it, right?
She does.
Okay.
Tyra Banks narrates it. So something you may not know about me, but I am a fan of that TV show.
America's Next Top Model.
Thank you. Yes, I've been watching it since I was in 8th grade.
I've watched it before. I've watched quite a bit of it before. I haven't in a long time, but I used to really enjoy it.
I really like, I think modeling is interesting.
Yeah.
Photography is interesting.
Yeah.
I don't really care about the drama, although I wasn't into the drama when I was in 8th grade. But now I'm like, whatever.
Yeah.
It's kind of annoying now. Yeah, I've been a fan of Tyra's for a long time, and so to get her insight into the show and everything that she's been through, I really, really enjoyed that. Her mama also narrates with her, alongside her.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, and she's an interesting character, too. And she's basically been her manager. So she has she's played an important role in Tyra's life, of course. So I really, really like that. One little thing happened, and it upset me more than maybe it should have. But she said something that I knew wasn't true. And when that happened, I was like, that's not true. And it upset me. And it was just this one little throwaway line.
Yeah.
So it was, she had this camp. I don't know if you remember, I do, when she started this camp for girls who, like pre-teen girls, to like boost up their confidence.
Right.
It was like a summer camp. It was called the T-Zone. T for Tyra, but also T-zone as in the area on your face where you break out. And what she said was, I never told anyone this before, but it also stands for the T-zone area where you break out. And I was like, you never told anyone that before? Because I distinctly remember them talking about it and saying that it's for that, but also T for Tyra. And, like, it's kind of an obvious thing, too, that that's what it stands for, excuse me. Because it's an expression, kind of.
Yeah.
Or, you know, it's a known phrase. And so when she said that, like, I don't know, it was weird. I never told anyone this before, because, yeah, you did. Yeah. And we all knew it.
Yeah.
So that was weird. Other than that, I really liked it. Also, she tried out for a Disney movie.
Really?
Animated movie. The Princess and the Frog.
Oh.
She was considered for that, and to hear her talk about that was really cool.
That is pretty cool.
Among other things that I didn't know about. So I really, really liked it. But that one thing, like, would that upset you? I don't know.
No. I feel like that doesn't really...
It didn't matter.
I mean, it's weird that she lied about it.
Why would she lie?
Yeah, but for me, it's like...
It's possible that she maybe forgot or misremembers.
Yeah.
But it seems like someone would catch that.
Like her editor or
yeah,
her publicist or somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because it's not a big thing to fib about, so why would you fib about it?
It's nothing. It's like throwaway information.
Right.
You know?
She just said, I never told anyone this before. And I'm like, what? I keep saying that, but it blew my mind. I don't know if it was a big deal or not, but...
I would not personally consider it a big deal.
Good.
Sorry.
No,
but
that's good.
I'm not
I needed
really,
to talk to somebody about it.
I'm not as
big of a fan.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So then I also read in June. Now we're in June. I don't think we said when we started June, but anyway.
Doesn't matter.
I also read Dead Mountain, the untold true story of the Dyatlov Pass incident by Donnie Eichar. However you say his name. Okay. You can see it.
How did you like that?
I gave it 5 stars.
Wow.
Yeah, because I've heard about that pass incident a lot, and it's always really intrigued me.
Yeah.
But going into this, you always hear about, like, how their bodies were found and what condition they were in and things like that. But this really, really humanized the group. And they were all very young people. I think the oldest was 30-something. But the majority of them were still in college. And so to hear them kind of be humanized and stuff, I had a lot of appreciation for that. And it included a lot of photos, which was really cool.
How did you read it?
On my Kindle. I have it on ebook.
I would like to read that.
Which was kind of a bummer because I have like a very first generation Kindle and it's not touchscreen and it's in black and white. So like to see the photos, I was like getting up here so I could like see the people, you know? But it was really, really good. It was really intriguing. And he definitely does offer an explanation for what may have happened. And it's, you know, pretty mundane, really. But, I mean, I really, really enjoyed it. I kind of went into it wanting to learn about what happened. But as I read, I just became more interested in who these people were.
That's cool.
And that, I mean, to me, that was very well written. And, like, if you can make me think about the people and humanize them and stuff, instead of like
sensationalizing it.
Yeah, yeah.
Cool. I'm glad.
So I would definitely recommend it for anyone who's interested in the past incident or anything like that. It was really, really interesting. And very well researched, I would say. So
cool.
Yeah.
Then we read Paper Girls by Brian K. Vaughn. I didn't know Brian K. Vaughn wrote that until I opened the book and I was like, yay! Because he wrote Saga, which we love so much. And so I opened the book and I saw that and I was like, holla. I was really excited about that. Yo, I gave it 4.5 stars.
I gave it 3.2.
I really, really liked it.
Again, this is kind of like the girl with all the gifts for me because it was, if I would have heard someone compare it to, can I say that would that be spoilery?
No.
Okay. I was reading it and I thought, wow, this is a lot like Stranger Things to me.
It is.
But I'm not really a fan of that. And so if somebody had told me that that's what it was like, I would have been like, oh, But I mean, it was still good, and there were definitely parts of it that I liked. Like, it's an all-female group, and it's set in, like, the 80s, I think. But again, this was another one where I felt kind of confused about what was going on.
Hey, Mommy!
I am a big fan of Stranger Things.
I knew you were, and I figured you were going to like it because of that.
And I liked it even better that when I looked at the copyright date, it came out 6 months before Stranger Things. Yeah. So one could not have been a knockoff of the other.
Yeah.
They just happened to come out like almost at the same time and have a similar premise.
Yeah, to me, I was like, wow, this is like really similar.
So I like that fact. If one had come out way after another one, I would have been like,
that'd be a little disappointing.
Why'd you do that? But they didn't. So
yeah.
Because they were, like, eerily similar things.
Yeah.
Even down to, like, aesthetic and setting and...
And there's also, like, I think there was the group of girls in the novel, or, like, there's 4 or 5 of them, and the group of boys in the show is, like, 4 or 5 of them.
And they ride their bikes everywhere.
Yeah.
And the, you know, pink lightning.
Yeah. It was really good, though.
Yeah, it was. So, for book club, we listened to Kill a Kingdom by Alexandra Christo. I gave 3 stars to that.
I don't have it rated, but I think it was 3.2. Basically 3 stars.
Yeah.
It's
a Little Mermaid retelling.
Yeah, which was really cool.
It was. I really like that aspect. It's a lot darker and more sinister.
Yeah.
There's sirens. The Ariel character, her name is Lyra. She's a siren and she kills princes, and the prince is a siren hunter, so you know that they're gonna fall in love.
Yeah. And this is one where she does describe mermaids at the very beginning, and mermaids are like these hideous hags of creatures, and I really like that twist on it, you know. That's really cool.
Yeah, there was the similarities that she twisted were really neat. The thing that was lacking, I think, for us was character development.
Yeah.
And some missed opportunities with world building, maybe, even.
Yeah. I mean, I would say the world building was good.
It was decent.
But it wasn't like... because there's different kingdoms, and each kingdom kind of has like a different aesthetic and weather and things like that. And I feel like we almost got there. I feel like to get just a little more description out of that would have been like great.
Right. Yeah, I was like, this is all right, and I really did not want it to end on a cliffhanger. I was glad to know that it was a standalone, because I was like, if this ends on a cliffhanger, I'll be so annoyed. You know, I do not care enough to continue on.
I didn't either.
Yeah. Did you think that too? Did you know it was a standalone?
I did not know it was a standalone, and I was worried that it was going to be part of a series, and I had kind of already made up my mind like 3/4 of the way through that like I wouldn't continue.
Yeah.
Just because, I don't know, and you know they're going to fall in love, but it still just felt like, not insta-lovey, but, I don't know.
I was okay with the romance. I was okay with it.
It
was just okay.
I also think the audio screwed me from enjoying it as much as I probably could have, just because. It
was weird because I listened to the...
They were great narrators,
They were really good.
Yeah.
They did a good job. I listened to the sample, and I was like, Christeena, listen to the sample, because she sounds just like Serena Joy from The Handmaid's Tale.
And she totally does.
Show.
In our opinion.
I had to look it up to see if it was the same woman, because I didn't know her name in real life, the actress. And she sounded just like her.
She did. I went and looked up the male narrator, because he sounded like a cross between Christian Bale in American Psycho and the guy that narrates American Psycho.
That's weird.
And instantly, I could not stand him. Through the whole book, though. Because he just, I mean, it got better towards the end, but in the beginning where he was talking about, like, how rich he is and, like, he doesn't care, and just that attitude combined with that voice.
But he rejects the...
I know, but he still came across to me as, like, so full of himself and just, like...
I think it was an act he was putting on, though. But yeah, I understand what you're saying, especially if you get that vibe. And I was halfway through when she said that, and I was like, why did you even mention that?
I know.
You didn't reply to that, though.
No, I didn't, and I was gonna say, if I have to suffer, you have to suffer too. But it just, I don't know, like, I couldn't get it out of my head, and so I really didn't care for his character until 3/4 of the way through the book, I would say. And, you know,
I liked him. I thought they did a good job narrating, and,
they did do a good job.
Yeah, I totally heard what you heard, though, after you mentioned it.
Sorry for ruining it for all the rest of you.
You did. It's all good.
Our covers are a little different.
Are they?
The coloring.
Oh, yeah, yours is more yellow. Mine's kind of duller.
I was going to call it gold.
But yeah. It's kind of a gray
gold.
It's not very gold.
No, it's not.
So, we read this together. I didn't finish it, which I plan on doing.
Yeah.
I read like 60 pages of it last night.
That's good.
So I'm still on this train. I'm not there yet.
Well, we started this in May.
Yeah.
And I didn't finish it until a week ago. And I mean, it's such a big book.
It is a big book, and it was during our sleepy time.
Yeah, we had so much stuff going on, and we weren't able to keep up the pace that we were going to, but that worked out okay. We read it with our book club friend Aaron, and all of us just ended up kind of like reading it when we could.
Right.
And I think I gave it 4 point something, 4 stars basically. But reading it now versus reading it years ago, like in high school, I can tell like a big difference, and there are things in this book that kind of drug out too long for me, especially description. I feel like is a main one. And
yeah, I think it could have been shorter in the middle there.
I agree, because there's a big gap of like nothing really happens.
Yeah, less traveling.
Yeah, and I feel like it could have been shortened a little bit.
Yeah, but
I still have a lot of nostalgic feelings about the book, so that definitely helped. But I don't know. I feel like I could have enjoyed it more if I would have read it faster.
Yeah.
But it was just like in the middle of
all the stuff.
Everything. And so it just didn't work out that way, which is okay.
Right.
But I do want to continue on, just like, I want to take a break, you know? Because this put me in a really big slump after I finished it. The only book I finished was our book club book. Mm-hmm. And I just didn't even feel like I had to force myself to finish that because I just...
wasn't into it.
Yeah, I just didn't... I want to read, but, like, I don't know what I want to read right now. You know what I mean? And I'm still kind of, like, trying to get over that. So, I love this book. But as an adult, not as much as I thought I would. Mm.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
I think I'm going to... Right now, as it stands, I think I'm going to give it, like, a 3.5.
Yeah.
Because I am enjoying it. It's just, I don't know. I've read a few chapters with my husband. We read last night together. Yeah. And he was really liking it.
Good.
So that's cool. Yeah. And I do like, I really enjoy Elias and the wolves, and those chapters are my favorite.
Yeah, I agree. They were mine too. Cool. I mean, I like the characters and I like the world. Mm-hmm. I like the creatures in it. Yeah. But definitely I feel like it could have been shortened down a bit.
Mm-hmm. And if I may, it was a bit formulaic in...
Oh, yeah.
It was very standard fantasy. I don't think it brought anything new to the genre exactly. No. Aaron made the point that, you know, not every epic fantasy has to reinvent the wheel.
Right. Yeah,
and I thought that was a good point.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's right. So, I like it just a little bit underwhelming.
Yeah. Yeah, and I can see that as an adult now. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Having read, like, more fantasy and things like that. There's definitely, like, nothing really unique, I would say. Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of things that are different and stuff like that, but it's nothing that really, like, blows my mind.
A lot of things that remind me of other things that I've seen before, and we are constantly drawing comparisons to Game of Thrones, Lord of the Rings. Yeah. You know.
And this came out in the early 90s, I'm pretty sure.
1990.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So I had to keep that in mind as well.
Yeah.
I will continue on when you continue on. Yeah. Depending on how I feel at the very end.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's just kind of like I feel like this just became more of a, I don't want to call it a chore, but it became a lot more to take on than what I originally thought it was going to be, just because the timing and things happen. Right. And that definitely kind of, like, you know. I mean, it was good, though. I gave it 4 stars. You're still enjoying it, but as an adult, it's interesting. I'm glad I reread it, and I can see the differences, and, you know.
Oh, yeah, let's do currently reading.
What am I? Oh, yeah.
I was going to think about that, too.
Are you still listening to I'll Be Gone in the Dark? Or?
Yes. So I'm a little over halfway through I'll Be Gone in the Dark, One Woman's Obsessive Search for the Golden State Killer by Michelle McNamara. You are also listening to that.
I am, and I'm really enjoying it. It's obviously about the Golden State Killer, the East Area Rapist, the original Nightcrawler, whatever you want to call him. He has many, many names. She unfortunately passed away right before this book came out. And her husband, Patton Oswalt, who is an actor, went ahead and got it published and everything like that. And then he was caught, like, I mean, not even, I think maybe 6 months after she passed away or something like that. It was very close. And this was, like, her whole life. She is invested into this. And so, you know, I know that, like, Patton Oswalt came out with a statement and was like, she would have been thrilled to know that, you know, he was caught and this and that or whatever. So, I mean, it's, yeah.
I wish she could have known. That sucks so bad. Yeah. But, so at the end of this book, they're not going to be like, he was caught.
No. This came out
right before
he was caught. But I think it's really interesting to be able to listen to people's theories or, like, go back in the crimes now knowing what we know, that he was a police officer at the time and he did live in Sacramento and things like that. And, like, the time gaps between his crimes is, like, he got married and he had kids and, like, but he would still come back and continue to do these horrible crimes. It's just, I don't know. It's interesting to me.
And not for the faint of heart, I would say.
Oh, no. Obviously, this deals with murder and it deals with rape and home invasions. All of it, basically.
Yeah, so...
And it's definitely not for the faint of heart.
No.
Yeah. So anyway, that's what we read in May and June while we were gone. I feel like I read pretty decently. I mean, for as busy as
we were.
The past 2 months where they were quite busy, so... That's it.
We missed you too.
Yeah, we're glad to be back,
Yeah,
and we're gonna be back to uploading regularly, so there's that.
Thank you so much for watching. When you play the game of tomes,
You read or you die.
come be our friends. Social media links in the description below.
And we hope you're reading a great book.
Bye.
Lost, what felt like it all in a game. Every man I've measured out to hurt me before I could ever feel safe.